Welcome back to the Roger channel, and guys, we are back yet again with another amazing review. This time we're doing the Star Wars Black Series Magnaguard from the Clone Wars line. This is the Magnaguard from the Clone Wars line, and of course, this is during the era that they're doing the plastic-free packaging, obviously, because there's no window. But besides that, all I care for is the figure inside this box. So, checking out the front of the box, we have a digital render of the character, the Black Series logo, the name which he falls to the line, and also his name down here. You also get the little stamp of the plastic-free packaging. On this side, you get this beautiful mural artwork featuring the Magnaguard, and by adding other characters from the same lineup, you can create a mural. So thankfully, I actually have the character that goes beside him, which is shown right here. We have the Magnaguard and ARC Trooper 5s. Taking a look at the back of the box, you get another digital render of the character, the sort of like description, the number which falls into the line, and some warnings. And then on this side, you get, instead of the partial window, a sort of like measurement of the scale of the figure and the accessories shown. You also get the plastic-free packaging stamps yet again, warnings on the bottom, and it's blank on top. So let's go ahead and open him up. And yeah, here he is in his cardboard prison. Of course, if you are new to this and you've never seen this before, during this time they wrapped the figures in what I like to call Black Series burrito paper. So you pretty much get the accessories and little baggies, and there's the figure right here. So here is the figurine inside of his little burrito here, and we're going to unwrap him. Dang. Okay, there's a lot more paper than... Oh, there he is. Out of your out of your cocoon. Oh my gosh. It's early in the morning. I am not awake. Wow. Oh, poor dude. He's all scrunched up. Sorry for keeping you in there for some time now, buddy. I'm gonna fix you up. Alright, so... Oh. Well, that's interesting. One of his shoulder pads came off. Hopefully that goes back on. I will fix that in a bit. But besides that, here's the figure out of the paper prison, and I'll fix that shoulder pad real quick. There's some sort of like product control or whatever you want to call it. So don't know if that's supposed to happen, but yes, I will get that repaired real quick. So I'm not sure exactly what I have come across as far as with this figure, but already it has lowered my expectations. I don't know if it's something with like quality control or if this is meant to happen with the shoulder pads. I'm going to look it up after I'm done reviewing this guy. But yes, I literally moved his arms around to fix his cape, and both shoulder pads, right here and right here, they both are, literally fell off. I've tried reattaching them and they keep on falling off. Also, a piece of his like cape or cloak, I don't know what it was, but it was like stuck right here, so I have no idea if that was just like a little bit of a lemon or if it's intentional. But yeah, very interesting. I am definitely going to be looking up the sort of like overview with some other people to see if this is like the way they receive theirs or at least unbox theirs. But yep, very interesting. Was not expecting it to go this way, and I haven't even started the review yet, so hopefully nothing else falls apart. So I guess we'll just go ahead and kick things off looking at the head sculpt right here of the Magnaguard. Of course, it is the iconic sort of like droid that we've known to love and fear. These are some of the strongest, droids that literally bodyguard General Grievous throughout the films and the series, and they are known to hold their own against Jedi. So yeah, these guys definitely have earned their name. But besides that, he does have, of course, like the sort of like bandage wrap around the droid head, and then you get the red eyes right here, some of the venting and things like that around the mouth. But overall, looks really cool. I am impressed by the attention to detail, and this was at least some of the coolest detail that we've seen so far. Take a look at this bottom part when I move his head. Look at that. The whole like neck joint is connected to this bottom piece, so that is really cool. I love that a lot. It gives sort of like a mechanism piece, a little bit of a touch, to the actual character. So I do like that a lot. Taking a look at the torso now, of course you can see his mechanical body. It has been badly damaged with a lot of like dents and scratches and buffs right there. He does have like this red button. And then you can see the exoskeleton within him. He does have some nice sort of like white and gray plating. But besides that, I like the mechanical look of the torso. And of course, the Magnaguard's iconic cloak looks really nice. I love that it is soft goods. Been a while since we reviewed something with soft goods in it. Most of the time it is like that flimsy plastic. And the cape or cloak itself does come in like two different separate portions. So you get the longer piece right here, and then this one with the print on it. And there's of course the one that sort of like shadows the shoulder area. Checking out the arms now. Of course, this is where the shoulder pad was located. But yes, look at this. It has pegs, right? It takes some time to try and like align it. Once you got on there, it goes back on. But then when you want to achieve a pose or something, it comes off. And it's the exact same way for this one. I don't really get why this is a feature, having removable shoulder pads when they've literally made clone troopers and stormtroopers with those softer shoulder pad things. Watch. Look at that. It already is sliding off. So yeah, that is very disappointing as far as that feature. I know it's nothing too crazy so far, like nothing here on the chest piece or some sort of other quality control on this figure, but that is a little ridiculous. Having the shoulder pads literally come off. Like I'm probably just going to use one once I pose him, and that's it. I'm not even putting the effort of putting both of them on if they come off this easily. But besides that, of course, the arm does stick out pretty good. Goes all the way around like you would figure it would. And he does have a butterfly joint. So all of this would be great if this shoulder pad was made of a flimsy plastic. They've done it thousands of times before, and all of a sudden they just dropped the ball and put it on like a Lego piece. Except this Lego piece is super flimsy. The elbow joint is very unique. I'm already gonna say it. I do not like the arms on this guy. I don't know if it's just the way that the packaging did this to him or things like that, but in a minute I'll show you guys. So of course elbow joint looks good, right? But then you run over here to like the forearm. The forearm has an individual swivel, right? But sometimes it's a little bit interesting to achieve certain positions of the arm, and more so on this one because look, this is very disappointing too. This is also something like quality control type of thing, but I guess the way that he was shoved into the packaging, it bent his arm. So of course it could be an easy fix, but why put in the effort of trying to mold back a figure that should be high quality, things like that? And his forearm is literally sideways. Like, you can even compare it with the straightness of this one, and then this is straight. That's supposed to be straight right there. But yeah, very disappointing in that sort of like feature. And then the hands themselves are super funky. of course they are in like this sort of like closed fist sort of like position. And then the wrist joint, it only goes so far, but that's pretty much it on that side. And then of course the other side as well, arm sticks out, goes around, butterfly joint, which looks amazing, but again, had to be ruined by that quality control. Forearm is kind of decent, and then the, of course, elbow joint is good, and the wrist joint is a little funky. Checking out the waist, the character or the Magnaguard doesn't really have a waist. It's mostly, the endoskeleton of the droid, but moving down to the legs, let's see, I'll clear it up real quick. Again, very interesting. It almost reminds me of the Super Battle Droid, but the thigh hip swivel is very unique in its own way. And again, I did want to point that out, is the position of this leg right here. It's supposed to be straight a little bit, and on this one, it is curved. So yeah, I'm blaming the packaging for that sort of fault. And there isn't really much of a thigh swivel. That's why I kind of like went quote, because it's more the hip that you're getting on this one. Articulation in the knees go up super far, as you can already tell, so that's good to know. And then taking a look at the feet of the Magnaguard, he has these like ginormous feet. I never really paid attention to the droid feet. I always figured that they were pretty much the same way at the Super Battle Droid and the B1 Battle Droid feet are. It's kind of like that normal like boot, but the Magnaguard has some huge feet. They do point down, they point up pretty good. Rock wrinkles to get some good action poses. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And now moving on to the accessories, we're going to take a look at the staffs. And then again, if you are new to this sort of like packaging, basically they would put the accessories of the character inside of these paper bags. So it looks like this time we have two of the sort of like electric staffs right here. This one is almost like an original like staff or a pike. It is full sort of like gray coloring for the metal sort of like look, and there is no sort of effects on this one. But then on the second one, we actually have the electric staff that they, mainly use throughout the series. And this one's kind of cool. I do like these sort of like clear tips right here. Really nice sort of like add-on. And then of course the pike is in the same gray coloring as the other one. Putting on the accessory was kind of interesting. You kind of have to like loop it around the fingers, but overall it does hold it pretty nicely. And last but not least, we'll take a look at the effects that are inside this little paper bag too. So in here, I'm guessing is the electric effects that are on the staff or the pike. Let's see. There's one, and then I'll try poking through here. Let's see. There's two. Wait. So here is the electric effects that are on the staff. So I'm guessing it's pretty much like the rest of them. You kind of like slide it in on there. Oh, these are kind of different actually. It's like a sleeve almost. Let's see. And here he is with the effects put on the staff. They look pretty decent. They are kind of interesting to work with. It's almost like a sleeve, but you kind of like wrap some of the electric piece on the tip area. And yeah, it kind of achieves the whole look. And now, as an overview of the figure, I am a bit disappointed, honestly. I know I usually don't get disappointed with these figures often, but this one was a letdown. And again, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this was just like some quality control that got out of hand and mine ended up becoming a lemon. But I do kind of find it suspicious that, like I stated, these shoulder pads have pegs on them. So it's kind of like they did it on purpose, but at the same time, Why would you end up changing up the system like that? They haven't done it before, and I don't know if they did it for the Return of the or not Return of the Jedi, sorry, the Revenge of the Sith anniversary version. That recently came out with Ayla Secura. I never picked that figure up, and now it kind of lets me know to think twice before buying the Magnaguard. Overall, I like the look. The accessory is pretty good too because you can also use that electro staff in a episode 3 diorama scene with Obi-Wan and Grievous. But again, it's the figure that counts, and if it's just going to be a small hiccup that ends up not working at all, then it kind of gives you second thoughts on even purchasing the figure. Also, this is long past the sort of like plastic free packaging, so hopefully it's changed. I don't know if the quality is the same or maybe it's similar, but let me know down below in the comments if you have both of the Magna Guards, and let me know, are they the same? Is the quality control different? But besides that, yeah, it was kind of a letdown on this review. But yeah, I'm kind of let down about that whole little feature. And I know it's not much, seeing that it was just the shoulder pads that literally came off. But if it's going to be like that, again, it's going to be some sort of like quality control issue or something. But yeah, besides that, I hope you guys enjoyed this review at least, or found it, somewhat informal. And if you did, please be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and follow me for more. And I'll catch you all on the next one.